thinking about where do I want to go after my MBA, I really felt like I wanted to double down on like my core skill set of product marketing. And I had done a year of product marketing before business school. And then during business school, I investigated a bunch of other stuff, but I felt like, you know what, that's an area where I think I can really excel. So my focus post business school was go to a large name brand tech company where I can get great training, great resources, good managers, well run, and just develop that core skill set. And so that's what I did. I went to LinkedIn. I was in product marketing, ended up taking another role to kind of, expand my skill set. LinkedIn, like most large tech companies like a LinkedIn or Facebook, are going to be very well run, well managed, well resourced companies, and I did all the trainings and the extra stuff they offered me of like speech coaches and all that stuff. But then I came to a point where I thought, listen, like, one, LinkedIn had just been acquired by Microsoft, which, I was part of a big company that got swallowed by an even bigger company. And the wheels started moving slower than I was interested in or used to, which happens. And so I decided, hey, I was starting to feel like complacent. I need to take a next step. And the next step, and, insiders in the Valley will talk a lot about this, is you find a high growth, late stage startup. And for a lot of people, that can be your ticket. That can be your ticket from a career perspective. That can be your ticket financially. And so I was like, this is the time. Another thing that I considered is, Silicon Valley is an extremely expensive place to live. And I don't know if I'm going to be here forever. And so for me, part of my calculation was, I want to accelerate my career. I want to accelerate my experience because I don't know if I'm going to live here 10 years from now. I'd say 10 years from now, it's likely that I won't. And so I started talking to friends. I started investigating companies. And yeah, at that time, it was like Zoom was the perfect profile of what I'm describing. Just had done a Series D with Sequoia, which is one of the most well-respected firms in Silicon Valley. Super high growth rate. Also, a lot of people don't know this about Zoom, but even back then when I joined, we were profitable, right? And so part of my calculation, which is very unusual for a high growth software startup in Silicon Valley. And part of my calculation was, okay, they're high growth, they have a low burn rate. I believe in the founder, and so I decided to join. Now, it's funny. The night after the night before the IPO, my wife and I were talking, and she's like, this is weird. I'm like, what? She's like, this plan kind of worked out exactly. Like, you wanted to experience an IPO, you wanted to experience a high growth company. Also, one of the things I wanted to experience was moving from an individual contributor to a people manager. And that all happened in short succession at Zoom. And, the reality is it doesn't always work out like that. And I feel very lucky. There was a lot of crappy IPOs in 2019. And I feel very lucky and fortunate that I was able to be part of that. I was actually on the IPO deal team, which was something that I had asked our CMO when I joined. I said, hey, whenever we IPO, I want to be involved because I saw that as like a key career experience. So I was very involved in drafting the S1 and a lot of the different projects that you have to do around preparing a company for an IPO. But yeah, like, I think if you're looking for just like hitting the gas acceleration, I think that Wealthfront list, like John said, is gold, but it's not perfect, right? Like, not all those companies are going to succeed. Not all of them are going to have big IPOs, but I think, you take a lot of risk out of the experience versus like, if you at a business school want to go join a 10, 15, 20 person company, for most people, I would say that's a bad idea, especially like, let's say if you have student loans that you got to pay back or, because that's super high risk. But joining a Series D company that just raised a big war chest and it's growing really fast, like, it's more of a how big versus if. So it's a how big and when. And I think there's a whole lot of career advantages to joining at that stage.